Leinster v Connacht. 5 key takeaways from URC Irish Derby at Aviva Stadium. The top lineage is expected. Leinster eventually proved too strong for Connacht in this United Rugby Championship Derby at the Aviva Stadium, running out 52-17 winners after pulling clear decisively in the second half. The hosts burst out of the blocks in the New Year fixture, scoring twice inside 8 minutes through Dan Sheehan and Charlie Tector, but their early dominance quickly ebbed. Connacht responded impressively, capitalizing on Leinster indiscipline, scrum ascendancy, and the impact of a lively bench to turn the contest on its head before the break at a Dylan Tiernan-Martin try from a tap penalty and further scores, including one from Finlay Bealham, saw Connacht lead 17-14, helped by Leinster lock Joe McCarthy's sin binning. However, Leinster regained control before halftime through a Sam Prendergast try, and once they found rhythm after the interval, the contest tilted decisively in their favor. A bonus point score from Brian Deeny early in the second half opened the floodgates, and Leinster went on to score 8 tries in total. Further scores from Tommy O'Brien, 2, Tector, and Josh Kenny completed a dominant final quarter surge that flattered the hosts, but reflected their superiority once momentum swung back their way to crisis. What crisis? Much has been made of Leinster's stuttering start to the URC season, when they lost 3 of their opening 4 fixtures. That narrative is now firmly in the rearview mirror. This was Leinster's 7th straight win since their mid-October defeat to Munster at Croke Park, underlining that Leo Cullen's side have rebuilt momentum and laid a strong platform for 2026, yet scratched beneath the surface, and questions remain, particularly with Ireland facing France and Paris in just over a month's time. While Leinster are winning again, they're doing so without the consistent dominance, fluency, and authority normally associated with their leading internationals. That inconsistency will be of concern to national head coach Andy Farrell, especially after a subdued Autumn Nation series. Jamison Gibson Park epitomized the issue. He exploded out of the blocks, his quick tap igniting the opening try, but his influence waned for long stretches of the first half before returning late on. Despite earning Player of the Match honors, his performance still fell a gear or 2 below his best. Similarly, Prendergast started brightly, orchestrating Leinster's early scores, but his confidence dipped after a missed penalty and only truly returned with his try on the stroke of halftime. He was noticeably more composed after the interval. Elsewhere, McCarthy, Jack Conan, and even Sheehan failed to hit their usual heights, while O'Brien, despite scoring twice, left a hat trick behind with a costly handling error. In contrast, it was the energy and accuracy of players like O'Connor's, Tector, Deeny, and newcomer Josh Kenny that brought genuine spark. Leinster are winning, but improvement is needed from their established leaders ahead of the Investec Champions Cup and Six Nations. Ref change dominates the narrative. Irish rugby crowds have endured a winter marked by inconsistency, not only in performance, but also in officiating. And this match was no exception. Referee Andy Brace oversaw a first half littered with stoppages, producing 15 penalties and a yellow card, with Leinster repeatedly on the wrong side of discipline. While both teams attempted to keep the tempo high, the constant interruptions frustrated players and supporters alike. Brace became an unlikely focal point of crowd discontent, and the loudest cheer of the night came when the stadium announcer confirmed a change of referee at halftime. With a new official in charge after the break, Leinster conceded just 3 penalties, compared to 11 in the opening half, allowing the game to flow and their superiority to shine through. The final penalty count of 14-9 against Leinster told a tale of 2 very different halves. The Frawley factor. Much of the pre-match discussion centered on Kieran Frawley, following confirmation that he will join Connacht on a 2-year deal next season. Former Leinster senior coach Stuart Lancaster has insisted Frawley will arrive in Galway as an out half, despite the utility back rarely featuring at fly half for Leinster, where Prendergast and Harry Byrne dominate the pecking order. Regardless of positional debates, Frawley continues to deliver when selected. He impressed at fullback against Munster last week and was again reliable here, contributing across his 66 minutes. Facing his future employers did not faze him. He was instrumental in Leinster's opening try, running a sharp support line off Gibson Park to maintain tempo, An emphatic way to begin a match in which a transfer dominated the headlines that 6-try and 4-starts young players making the most of their opportunities were a recurring theme. Connacht scrum half Ben Murphy, introduced early through injury, injected real pace and composure, pushing Gibson Park and underlining why he's rated so highly in Galway. For Leinster, Josh Kenny's rise continues to gather momentum. The 22-year-old winger, a relatively late addition to the academy, has now scored 6 tries in 4 starts. Adding another in the closing minutes, he nearly had a 7th, only for a rare handling error when a try beckoned from a Hugh Cooney offload. Still, his finishing instincts and work rate continue to impress, marking him out as one of Leinster's most exciting emerging talents. The final word: Leinster's second-half power ultimately told, but this derby offered more nuance than the scoreline suggests. Connacht showed grit, ambition, and moments of control, while Leinster, though ruthless when momentum swung, remain a work in progress at the top end of their squad. Winning runs matter, but refinement will determine whether this Leinster side can translate domestic dominance into European and international success in the months ahead.